By completing this course, you will learn the following: the definition and purpose of HAZWOPER, the scope and purpose of HAZWOPER regulations, the purpose of HAZWOPER-related regulations, the difference between a hazardous waste site and other work sites, potential hazards to be found at a hazardous waste site, including health and physical hazards, the availability of HAZWOPER-related written plans, the purpose of the HAZWOPER Safety and Health Program, and the purpose of the HAZWOPER Emergency Response Plan. The Hazardous Waste Operations and Emergency Response Standard, or HAZWOPER standard, regulates the safety procedures for hazardous waste cleanup sites. It also regulates hazardous waste treatment, storage, and disposal, or TSD, facilities and emergency response operations. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, has codified the HAZWOPER standard at 29 CFR 1910.120 and 1926.65. The Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, has also codified the HAZWOPER standard at 40 CFR 311, which simply adopts OSHA 1910.120. The HAZWOPER standard was passed as a result of growing awareness of the threat of hazardous waste in America. Throughout the 1970s, environmental disasters such as Love Canal and the Valley of the Drums prompted environmental reform. As a result, 3 laws were passed. They are the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation and Liability Act, or CERCLA, the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act of 1976, or RCRA, and the Superfund Amendments and Reauthorization Act of 1986, or SARA. In the early 1980s, the federal government published 2 non-mandatory guides on hazardous waste site safety and health. These guides were largely adopted by, first, an interim final HAZWOPER rule in 1986, and then a final HAZWOPER rule in 1989. HAZWOPER regulations apply to cleanup operations conducted at uncontrolled hazardous waste sites, corrective actions involving cleanup operations at sites covered by RCRA, voluntary cleanup operations at uncontrolled hazardous waste sites, operations conducted at hazardous waste treatment, storage, and disposal, or TSD facilities, and emergency response operations for releases of or substantial threats of releases of hazardous substances, regardless of the location of the hazard.